Make my coffee with me while we chat about this book. Just finished it last night. I do unfortunately think I'm settling in at like 1.5 to 2 stars. I say that with like the deepest level of disappointment because it was like one of my top 3 most anticipated reads of the year. So I figured I'd elaborate a little bit because a lot of you in the comments totally agreed, and then there were a few of you that were like, what? I loved this book. I would say my biggest plight with the entire book is the entirety of the plot revolves around something to do with our main character finding some people she loves. The actual idea of the plot and the setting and how it all felt was done very well, but like the relationships I just couldn't get behind. Like I was not bought into the relationships, and I didn't understand the level of depth that I felt like she was trying to get across. I felt like that applied for both the romantic relationship and the female friendships, which were like a core center of the plot, were almost completely missing, and yet the entire story revolved around them. And I can't really like say too much because I don't want to give away the plot, but essentially you're fighting for something that we never believed in the first place. Like you don't really like believe in the relationships and what the main girl is fighting for, because like the actual depth of the relationships was genuinely never established. Something this author does really well is creates a very beautiful setting, and I loved One Dark Window. I felt similarly that it was lacking depth and character development. The plot was cohesive enough to keep me interested even though I didn't know the characters that well. With this book, the plot has felt quite all over the place, with the central plot being around friendships that we never believed in the first place. I would also like to point out that the tonality of the beginning of the book kind of depicted these friendships almost in a competitive light, where there may be like some secrets between these friends and things that like we don't see on page. Then the tone for the rest of the book just did not match the beginning of the book, I felt like, at all. And then in the midst of this, you have a romance and it's the same thing. You don't know, like if I had to pick 3 things out of the main male character and the main female character, just about their character and like who they are, I could not tell you. Do you see that? Oh my god, where are you hanging from? Yeah, I was really sad about this because I really was looking forward to this book, and I loved the Shepherd King duology. Really curious about your thoughts. If you kind of feel the same way, if you've read it, let me know if you've read One Dark Window and felt like similarly. I wanted to be rooting for the plot, but I couldn't be because I didn't have any emotional stakes in what I was reading. He was gonna crash out if I didn't let him say hi. Hey. I'm curious to hear more of your opinions. I'm reading the fanfic The Auction, which has been amazing. And this coffee is perfect.